Hey YouTubers, Christopher Wanamaker here doing a new category topic, financial literacy topic video. And this pretty much has to do with ways to fine tune your monthly budgeting to be able to track how much you're actually spending for both groceries and gas. So here's the situation. Maybe about 10 to 12 months ago, I had a pretty good idea. I'm always staying on top of my finances and everything. And then I'm combing through my billing statements and everything, whether it be for water, for gas, for garbage, rent, internet, cell phone, whatever. I look through, 12 months worth of statements, add it all up, divided by 12 in order to get my average for my 3x5 card monthly budget. Write it in pen of what it is, like rent and garbage and water, and then mechanical pencil because it can change over time of how much, and backslash, what time of the month is it pulled out. So I have a pretty good tracker, a budgeting 3x5 tracker. And 10, 12 months ago, when things were cheaper, I was tracking, I was spending for gas between about 120, 150 for a month. And then I was spending probably for me and my mother. Mother lives with me in my apartment. She has the bedroom. I live here in the living room, kitchen area. I'm her at-home caregiver because she's disabled with the multiple sclerosis and her condition's getting worse. So she needs, someone to help her, and I cook all her meals and all that kind of stuff. So the fact of the matter is that I thought I was spending 500, 550 per month in groceries, and but I was like, you know what, I haven't really gone through a way to really track in the past several months how much am I actually truly spending. So what I did is come up with an idea since this past summer, and I took my old 3x5 my 3-ring binder, and then I document protectors. I used to keep all my tax receipts for when I was a rideshare driver for like food, gum, fast food, and all that kind of stuff that I would, or products I purchased for the vehicle. Keep all the receipts for tax write-offs. Now I'm using this binder for this is all grocery kind of stuff, and it only entails either food items or like personal hygiene, shampoo and soap and things like that. It would not include clothes, or little random things, getting a thing of maybe new can opener or something like that, because those are really rarity buys. They're not consistent. So it'd be just grocery or hygiene stuff, cleaning supply stuff, and then another document protector of nothing but for just gas. How much do I spend at gas stations per month? Then what I did is I would pull out all the receipts for one whole month, and I would then I have created another 3x5 card, and I created like on the back I have August, and then September, October, November, and then it's for this year, and then food and gas. Pull out all the receipts for each month before throwing them away, add them all up, tally them up, and write down how much did I spend for food and for gas for that month. So I have a more fine-tuned idea, and after 2 to 3 months worth, then I can add them all up, divided by 2 or divided by 3 for 2 to 3 months, and then I now have a better average idea of how much are we spending for gas and food. And when I thought that after all other expenses were paid for and what I was tracking with my budgeting, I thought that we were pocketing right about 1,050 per month, since like the beginning of summer, for my monthly budget. So like 2/3 was going towards expenses, a third was going towards my pocket for savings. And what I discovered is that number was very inaccurate. It was more like right around $620 saving, and then all the rest was expenses. So I was off by like 300-400 bucks. So because I only had an educated guess from about a year ago of what I was spending per month in gas and what I was spending per month between the two adults in this household on food. So, it got me thinking, because of gas prices and food prices going through the roof, I needed to start getting more creative. Not only track the more details of exactly how much am I spending, but then what could I do to start cutting down on costs. And so now that I have the numbers, I was like, man, we really need to cut down this because the average for August, September, October, $760 is what we were spending on average for two adults in my apartment under my household a month for groceries and about 260 for gas. That's a lot more than I thought. So how can we decrease that? And then how much of it is me and how much is my mom when it comes to the food specifically? Well, the food I would have to say was about 2/3 my mom and a third me. So 760 bucks. You're talking about $500 is what my mom is spending because she's a very, very picky eater. And then on top of that, she doesn't have her back molars anymore. Dentist people pulled them out. And she can't chew things as well. She's a creature of habit. The one thing I know that I always have to have on my grocery list and always fully stocked is her soda, Diet Dr. Thunder, Diet Dr. Pepper, which are like nearly $1 at Walmart per 2-liter bottle. Usually have about 6 on hand at all times. So that's universal. Always have to have that. That's pretty much her lifeblood. When it comes to everything else, we were just filling up the fridge, the cabinets, and the freezer with as much of her stuff that she wanted. Whatever she was in the mood for, or I know that she likes, she got. But we weren't really fine tuning what we were getting her and how frequently. So, prices were going through the roof for a lot of certain groceries, like her Mega Bowls, General Tao's chicken, the pre-made 8-pack box of quesadillas, Amy's enchiladas, always getting and having tons of bags of Lyman chips or Cheez-Its as well. When it comes to the big, really big bags of Jolly Ranchers, that was like a bag every 2 weeks. And then, like having for mainly me, a big brick of like Tillamook Kobe Jack cheese, but then she has to have her own 1 pound or a 5 pound bag of pre-shredded cheese. And so I started thinking to myself, how can we start fine tuning? So I started creating a mom's grocery list of all the specific items that she constantly likes to get, and then writing down not only the item, but then backslash how many should we get and how many times per month should we get it. So now it's like, mega bowls. Well, we can get anywhere from 2 to 4 of those per month when I was used to buying like, 12 to 20 of them per month. And then that's all she would, mainly eat lunch and dinner. She doesn't really do breakfast. And then, warm up one of those. She was just so consistent with it. Or several things of General Tao's chicken and all this other stuff. Too many bags of chips, too many bags of Cheez-Its. She has a bad habit of always, I want something crunchy or I want something sweet. Okay, well, you don't need that every single day, especially when it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe an hour or two before you're going to bed. Every now and then it's fine, but not consistently. So I've had to, be more of the adult and man of the household, and learn to not always cave in and give her whatever she's in the mood for. She just asked for ice cream a little while ago, today, and I'm like, yeah, no, how about tomorrow? So like every other day when we do have sweets on hand. So we need to cut back and not be gorging ourselves, and that's why we were overdoing it, and especially with her appetite of, I'm in the mood for this, I'm in the mood for that, I want this, I want that, go to the store and get me this, go to the store and get me that. She thinks like, okay, because, we make decent money and everything, being her caregiver and VA disability and all that kind of stuff, that we shouldn't just go to the store and get whatever we want, but not really think ahead about, okay, I want to save some money and put some money away. I need to keep increasing our savings and all that, because unexpected things happen. It's good to have emergency money on hand. Right, and here soon, by the new year, I'm going to start putting, several $100s away, almost my entire VA disability monthly check into like retirement savings, like a Roth IRA or something. how can I do that? We're doing all my extra money, we're just blowing on food, so, so we got to fine tune, so we got to, think smarter and not work harder, kind of thing. So, some started coming up with some unique ideas, not only coming up with her grocery list of what does she love to get, what do I need to buy, and how many per month. Um, and so, like example, instead of getting a big brick of like cheese and then getting like a 5 pound bag of pre-shredded cheese because she has weak hands and arms, so maybe she might be able to shred a little bit, but after a couple of movements, then it's almost like arthritis. She can't do it anymore. Or she drops things and all that kind of stuff. So then it's like, okay, what about we get rid of the pre-shredded cheese? I hate it. First off, I prefer a brick of cheese and then shred it, and it's nice and it's fresh and it's moist. The pre-shredded cheese in the Ziploc bags, it's like dried up wax, in my opinion. There's something that it's just not right. So if my mom needs pre-shredded cheese, then hey mom, let me know you're going to use it for nachos, you want some for on a salad or whatever you're making yourself, and then I will go ahead, give me about an idea of how much you need, and let me pre-shred it right before you get ready to go in the kitchen with your electric wheelchair and do it up for you. So now I need a big brick of solid cheese. We don't need big brick of cheese and pre-shredded. So fine tuning what you're getting and how often and how much are you getting it. So instead of like Lyman chips in a Cheez-Its box every week, it's more like every 2 weeks. And like for 1 week would be a bag of Lyman chips, and then the other week would be a family box size of Cheez-Its. So each thing of chips will only needs to last her 2 whole weeks. So we're really cutting down on things now. And instead of getting like 12 to 20 different boxes of the mega bowls, it's more like 2 to 4 a month. So either one every 2 weeks or one every week. So it's all these different things. We're like thinking, what does she need? How much does she really need? Now, we also want her to get healthier because she has MS. She has a decent amount of weight on her. Um, you know, and she eats a decent amount. She always wants diet pills because she doesn't like working out and sweating, and she wants to eat until she's full. So she's not very good with discipline, patience, willpower, portion control, what you eat. I'm like, hey, I need to start eating more vegetables and all that, and yet you want the meats, you want the cheeses, you want the salts, you want the sugars, and you're like, get that green stuff away from me, or normal average water is boring and it gives you cancer. Those are the kind of responses I get. So it's like, mom, we gotta, a little bit of sweets here and there. Everything in moderation is fine, but you're too much. Even your doctor says you need to cut down on certain things. So I have to be the, a little bit of the bad guy and the more mature, responsible man of the house, and be like yes and no. Sometimes yes and more no than yeses. And so, I had to, and it helps our wallet, it helps our future, it helps our health. So there's multiple factors on really fine tuning. It's really writing everything down, all the details to get a better idea. What are you buying? How much are you buying? What are you spending? How frequently are you going out? All that kind of stuff. So now I have a better idea, and we have a better idea of now what are we going to get for her specifically and how much. The other thing we started doing for health wise is I looked into the meal prep kits that are delivered to our door. Things like Home Chef, HelloFresh, Factor, and there's others. So one of the very first things that I did, because I did not know a whole lot about these things, I've heard of them. Maybe I looked into one or two of them, but it's like, oh, there's like 7 or 10 different of these kind of companies. How do I choose from them? So what I did is looked up a YouTube review that would compare like 7 of them, and And then HelloFresh out of 1 of 7 makes second place in this. It makes third place in this. It makes first place in this. Different categories that they tested. The different meal kit, chef meal kit delivery meals, and then prices and the freshness and the ingredients and the preparation and the healthiness and all that different categories they tested. And from my discovery of a couple different videos, Home Chef pretty much came in second place across the board in almost every category. So, and then knowing that they were one of the first, I think, to do this kind of stuff, then other ones started popping up. And then on top of that, they do military discount. They were doing a special. The first box is 50% off, so it was like $51. We did 4 meals, which is 2 servings per meal, so about 8 servings worth of 4 different meal kits. And signed up on the website, created a profile, all that, saved the bookmark of that site. And then so the first week was $51. And then all weeks after that, I get a 10% military discount. So if we don't really change to any of the either least expensive kits or more expensive kits that you can change up the meals, if there are certain meals that they already pre-chose for you and you don't like them or what they have with them, then you can delete them or even adjust specific sides or whatever. If my mom doesn't like green beans or Brussels sprouts or whatever. So, so we started doing that, and now on average, as long as she doesn't change it to a more expensive item instead of the normal average meal kits are about $10 a piece. So with that, with a little bit of shipping and all that, I pay $82.92, so just a hair under $83 every week. And then if we have an idea that maybe we might go travel somewhere, get together with family for a Thanksgiving meal somewhere at somebody else's house or whatever, or I'm going to be cooking a Thanksgiving meal and we're going to, it's a good sized turkey. It's going to last us several days after that. Then we went in the system and we skipped an entire week's meal. There was a time out of the several different boxes that we've gotten so far, 1 week something screwed up and they sent it to my named apartment complex, but at a completely different area in Vancouver, Washington, instead of Ridgefield. So we never got our box. So I contacted them when 3 days went by and let them know that, and then they reimbursed me for that week, and it just they saved it as a rewards amount of money within my rewards credits of about $83 within my profile to be taken the following week. So if there's a shipping issue, you contact them, let them know, and you would be able to get reimbursed. So then we started receiving, these 4 meal kits, about 8 servings worth. That's, one for every dinner for the week. And then maybe one of them can be a lunch and a dinner, 8 total worth. Sometimes my mom's really hungry, and what is supposed to be 2 servings is she eats it all at one. So then, so that's why, we also get less of her actual like Walmart grocery list of Mega Bowls and General Tso's chicken and all of that. And we have some things on hand for her. And I told her she also needs to eat a little bit, maybe more cold cereal, hot cereal, eat a little bit more sandwiches. We always have a good amount of like top ramen on hand, which is super cheap. Lots of the 4 different types that she likes, entire full packs of the little single packs. So we've done multiple things. We're starting to fine tune our process. What do we get? How much do we get? And all that. So with that, over the past 2 months of doing the Home Chef, we usually probably skip maybe about 1 whole week's worth. And then what groceries we get on hand from Walmart for her, we're saving about $120 per month from the past 2 months of what we were spending. So instead of spending $760, now we're in the $640-ish area. And then October was still a little bit expensive because then we spent like $190 in medications because I got sick, gave it to my mom, she got sick, instead of going directly to her local doctor at a Vancouver clinic. and then having them issue her specific medications. We for like 2.5 weeks she was sick. She just kept wanting me to go to like the local store and get her like Dayquil, Nyquil, all that. I spent like nearly $190 in medication. So what we would have saved, we didn't save. We spent it on something else instead of going directly to the doctor and then only having to, with a copay, spend like $15-20 on one medication. And then the rest were free from using her medical insurance, Medicaid, and stuff. So so there's an idea of how can one start fine tuning. How can you eat healthier, have better food, the meal kit stuff, whether it's for police officers or doctors and firefighters, soldiers, military discount, college students possibly, Home Chef and the other kind of like HelloFresh and Factor, look into those, the benefits of it and everything. And then I do have to cook more instead of just constantly getting my mom unhealthy microwave meals, and things like that. And then, adding up all the receipts in a 3-ring binder, adding them all up before you throw them away, write them down on a 3x5 card, and get an idea of a tracker per month for that year. And this is how you can get the thought process rolling of how much are you really spending, instead of always just taking an educated guess, and then do it for 2 or more months, and you have a lot better of an idea. And then once you realize how big of a bill you're actually spending on certain things, hey, things are getting really expensive, it's getting out of hand. I thought I was spending 500, I'm spending an average of 760. That's $260 more dollars than I thought I was spending per month, because everything's getting more expensive and I wasn't paying attention. We need to start, how can we fine tune what we're getting, how much we're getting, and then what are we buying, what are we eating, how much of this are we eating, how frequently are we eating it, how can we substitute one thing for another, and fine tune our overall grocery shopping process, food process, and all that. Where even same thing with gas, if there's a cheaper gas station for a while until the gas prices start dropping, which they are. It went up to over $5. I think it reached 5.20 at one point here in Ridgefield. Now we're at 4.10 right now, but I do know of like a Space Age gas station in Battleground that's like 3.16 right now. So anytime I'm in that area, maybe I fill up at the cheaper gas station until these other gas places in my local area start dropping in price, and I get to more of a cheaper gas. So, you got to do what you got to do, but paying attention to the details, writing things down, thinking things through, talking things out with anybody else that's in your household, budgeting, creating a very, very specific grocery list of what and quantities and how often, for every week, every 2 weeks, every month, and all that kind of stuff. And since the food prices are so high, why not do something like the Home Chef? Before, it was Home Chef was way more expensive than going to the grocery store, and then you were spending less and getting a lot more for your buck. But grocery prices are so high that a lot of people are even saying it's almost you could like spend about the same amount of money, get the same amount of food going out to fast food. So, but it's still, that's not super healthy. Every now and then is fine. So why not look into something like Home Chef that's a lot healthier and it's portion controlled, and you can go into the system and change out specific meal kits and specific ingredients and all that kind of stuff. So there's my idea for a new topic area: financial literacy, dealing with how much, how are you tracking your food budget and gas budget, your grocery budget and gas budget, and then creating a specific list and then coming up with new ideas. Where there is a will, there is a way. So if you're trying to find a way to cut back, in this area, in that area, it's kind of like a rule of thumb of mine. I'm all about the details. Since especially things are getting more and more expensive in a variety of areas, rent and utilities and all that. I'm constantly looking at, hey, my credit score went up. Hey, phone bill, Verizon or whatever. Is the current plan that I have right now, is it the best plan? Is there any way I can cut back? Can I decrease my amount of data? How much do maybe I pay for 5 gigabytes per month. Oh, you found out that I use an average of 2 to 3, mostly 2. Okay, can I cut back the 5 gigabytes to 2 gigabytes? Oh, you just saved yourself $30. Something like that. Constantly, every season of the year, you should be calling up your people and trying to find out, what kind of plan do I have? What kind of subscription? Is there a new plan? Is there a better plan? Can I sign up for? Can I change over to? I recently went from for years paying for the My Plan with Verizon, and I was paying like $76 a month, and then it was about to go up to about like 88, and then so I changed it to a prepaid plan, and now I'm paying like 56 on average. So there's a will, there's a way. Older brother was paying a high phone bill, and it was also not just for his monthly phone plan, but he didn't fully buy out the phone outright. So he was making monthly payments for years. And then my mom, but he's really hurting financially right now. Money is super, super tight for him. So, we helped him pay off his phone completely. That he'll owe us money later, but then so that way he can go through this other program, and because he's on food stamps and stuff, and so that way he can qualify for a free government phone. And all that, just pull out his SIM card out of his current phone and put it in that government phone, keep his phone number, and all that kind of stuff. But then he pays like now, instead of in the like $80 range, he's paying like I think it's like $12 a month or something like that. So there's all these ways if you need to fine tune your monthly budgeting of what you're spending. You just got to think and be creative, and call people and network, and don't get bullied and push back, and or maybe even switch from Verizon to AT&T to T-Mobile. Whatever is the best plan for you, but things are definitely getting more expensive. And so it's really, really good to constantly keep dabbling in all these different areas, get creative, but also make sure you're tracking it. What you got to do, what are the steps, and then how much what were you spending, and what now are you going to spend, and make changes to your monthly budgeting, and keep track of it, and always keep it up to date. All right. So that's about all I have. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, make any comments, hopefully positive, and I hope this helps you. All right, you guys take care. Have a good holiday season. Upcoming Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe, and take care of yourself, and take care of your friends and family. Watch out for each other, and why is it important to really watch out and take care of yourself? Because if you have a good, solid foundation for yourself, then you can help out other people, your loved ones, friends, and family members, in a bigger, more positive way. If you can't help yourself first and set yourself up well, you can't help other people. All right, but also don't let others, constantly use you and take advantage of you either. All right, don't be too caring and giving. Have a little bit of boundaries and love for yourself too. All right, talk to you guys later, and have a good day. All right, bye.